Hello, everybody. I'm really so happy to be here with Chris Austin from Explora Journeys. Chris, thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. I know we've spoken a lot over the past few years and months about Explora Journeys, and I'm really happy to get some of your time today as well.
Absolutely. It's a sincere pleasure to be back with you, Dan, and have the opportunity to share a little more about our amazing new brand, Explora Journeys.
So I see travel advisors getting introduced to this brand all the time. And one thing I think is really interesting is how the brand's positioned as sort of a luxury hotel at sea. And I was hoping you could talk to us a little bit about that, about what that means and how travel advisors can think about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Dan. I think this really goes back really to the beginning of the brand, yes, and the vision, the dream that our family owners had. And of course, we told, 3 years ago, a very bold story that maybe some travel partners, travel advisors actually embraced, but many didn't. And we understood that, yes, you have to understand the story that we're creating, understand the brand. But this vision, the dream that our family, of course, the family owners, the Aponte Vargo family, we're a European brand, and these are actually key brand differentiators as well for our travel partners to explain to their clients. Being a European brand, being family owned, and actually being part of the MSC group, which is a very gives us a very strong financial backing. But this dream, this vision, which became a passion project for all of us, of course, is built from wanting to create a unique experience, and an experience that perhaps is more akin to a luxury boutique hotel whose home is the ocean. And of course, you don't do that by just designing the interior of a ship to feel like when you're in the lobby bar that you could be in a hotel. It's a very layered approach. It is interior design. It is actually, though, how where we're recruiting our hosts from. Many other brands call that them crew, of course. We love to call them hosts. Nomenclature, therefore, is very important. The nomenclature around all the different spaces on the ships, be it our homes at sea, our suites, or actually that we call our balconies, we call them terraces because they are actually the largest in our category at sea. So a lot of thought has been put into the guest experience, creating more of this boutique hotel vibe, as I say, whose home is the ocean. Of course, the ocean transports our guests to these amazing on and off the beaten path ports of call as well, Dan.
Yeah, and you spoke about the nomenclature a little bit, and I know, knowing you and knowing the brand for a few years now, the choices are fairly deliberate. And one thing you mentioned there, Chris, is homes at sea. And I was curious, I know you call them homes at sea, but I was curious
Yeah.
why and why that choice was made.
Well, when a guest is traveling with us, we are their home, aren't we? And obviously, as I said, our home is the ocean. So homes at sea. The ship has been designed to have incredible amount of light, lots of windows. You really connect with the ocean. We want all our guests to discover their ocean state of mind. That's a transformative experience, actually, as well. So when you enter into our homes at sea, our suites, all of our accommodations are ocean front, all with beautiful large terraces with those deep cushion Italian day beds, plus a dining table for two guests, but lots of light pouring into that suite. And of course, we really start with our owner's residence. It's 3,014 square feet. It's the full deck 8 aft, and it's a beautiful, beautiful accommodation. There are also 22 other ocean residences. They all come with butler service. You'll find actually whirlpools, jacuzzis on the terraces. Many of these suites are aft, some are midships as well. But of course, it's all about space, and maybe it's about entertaining other guests that you have either traveled with or you met on board, taking them back and having a little cocktail party or even a private dinner in your suite there. We also then, under our ocean residences, we'd have our ocean penthouses, 67 ocean penthouses on both Explorer 1 and Explorer 2. And again, more space in those suites, smaller than the ocean residences, but beautiful accommodations, whether it's our lead-in penthouse or up to through our premier penthouses, our deluxe penthouses, grand penthouses. They are really, in my opinion, great value and a fantastic home at sea to select. And then, of course, the lead-in suites. We have the largest lead-in suites in the industry, Dan, 377 square feet. And they're the ocean terraces, 4 different categories. And it's all about location. And of course, for those loyal cruisers, they often know exactly where they wish to be, whether it's midships, whether it's forward, whether it's in the aft. And of course, our travel advisor partners can certainly consult and give great advice to those new to the ocean, those luxury land lovers who we're attracting an awful lot of, because we are more of that hotel experience. We're connecting far more with them than perhaps some of the classic traditional luxury cruise
Yeah.
brands. So nice choice. Our homes at sea. Obviously, you're going to sleep under beautiful, crisp, white Italian linens. You're going to be welcomed with a chilled bottle of French champagne. You're going to have your own private coffee, tea making facilities. You're going to have heated floors in your bathroom, Dyson hair dryers, which the ladies will love, seated vanities, walk-in closets. Even the hangers in the walk-in closet actually have a little rubber inset to stop hangers sliding. You can lay your iPhones down by the side of your bed. There's a charging panel in both the nightstands there. So, it's the little things that mean a lot. It's the little things that you may
Yeah.
have at home, but you may not have at home, which will really accentuate the experience that you have with us.
Yeah, you mentioned, I know the little things I know make a big difference, particularly with a luxury clientele. And from the cruisers I've heard who've been on board and the travel advisors who've been on board, I know that sort of made a huge difference for them as well. But Chris, one thing I didn't hear you mention, I was hoping I could ask a little bit about is the restaurant choices on board. You mentioned a little bit about the suite choices, but I know there's sort of a wide range of culinary experiences on board that have lent themselves to attracting, like you mentioned, that first time cruiser.
Yeah, well, choice is something that we're really delivering on the, with both Explorer 1 and 2, and of course through our entire fleet when we launch, ships 3, 4, 5, and 6. There'll be a continuation of a great deal of choice. And why? Because obviously, again, the family vision, but also actually when we surveyed an awful lot of future guests, travelers, they said they wanted choice. They actually said they wanted a ship inspired by a super yacht. They wanted space. So you've heard how we've delivered that with obviously the largest leading suite, but then they wanted choices. So in culinary, we have 6 restaurants, and they're just like restaurants that you could go into in New York or into Miami, into any city in the world. Actually, I love Med Yacht Club myself because there's a bar in there. You can have a drink at the cocktail bar in the Med Yacht Club, sit in the lounges which are within the restaurant, and then obviously dine on Mediterranean sort of cuisines, whether it's Spanish tapas, Italian, French, Greek, or even tangines from North Africa. So Fil Rouge, French international inspired restaurant as well. We have Marble and Co, which is a European steakhouse. We have Sakura, which is Pan-Asian. We have Anthology, which is offering an Italian tasting menu at the moment. That does have a small dining experience fee. And then, of course, we have the Emporium Marketplace. People love the Emporium Marketplace, and it's not a buffet. Everything is cooked to order, all behind glass, served for you, and you can take your choices back to your tables, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I even know of some people, Dan, who go to the Emporium Marketplace, get oysters on the half shell and a glass of champagne before they go to dinner in one of the other restaurants. So, of course, lots of culinary choices, afternoon tea in the Explorer Lounge, Crema Cafe, which is our beautiful coffee lounge with baristas. And of course, they'll also make you a wonderful cup of tea as well. So lots of choices in culinary. And don't forget the bars. We've got 12 bars and lounges. We have 8 interior bars and also 4 outside. My favorite being the Sky Bar on deck 14. There's no better location for a sail away, listening to the DJ there and having your chosen cocktail as sun sets and we perhaps depart, or even maybe we're at anchor and we're still there until 10 or 11 p.m. But a wonderful spot for an evening cocktail.
Yeah, I've spoken to a lot of cruisers, and it seems like the culinary sect is fully on board. Not just the cruise industry gender in general, but Explora. And 12 bars and lounges, 6 restaurants. Talk about choices. I think that's really incredible. Um, I want to ask you one more thing, Chris. You speak about the guest experience on board. I know you made another choice when designing these ships, and that was creating a guest experience that also welcomes families. And I was hoping you could pitch that a little bit to us. Why is Explore Journeys wonderful for luxury family travel?
No, it's a great question because many luxury brands actually sort of, stay away from that or they haven't thoughtfully curated the experience. We're owned by a family, of course, and therefore families are very welcome. What we did thoughtfully, we created a number of connecting suites, and when we connect the suites together, you have two suites, of course, with the connecting interior door. You've got a full king size bed, and the bathroom there has the full European walk-in overhead shower. But the adjacent connecting room has two twin beds with, in the bathroom, the deep soaking bathtub, and of course the shower as well. So very thoughtfully set out, really to create a family suite. We've also created one of the, and I think it's probably the only kids club on an ultra luxury ship, which it's called the Nautilus Club. I tell you, many parents we meet can't get their kids out of it. They probably love that, but it's full of the gizmos and all the stuff that kids love. And of course, kids aren't necessarily only 7, 8, 9 or etc. We've got 16, 17-year-olds there. There's always two hosts. They're incredibly professional. They love the jobs they're doing, and that facility is of course open from early morning through to late into the evening as well. But we've married that all together with also having an adults only pool, the Helios pool. So you can see you've got your space on the ship, you've got all the choices, but you've also got these connecting suites, you've got the Nautilus Lounge, plus you've got an adult only pool called the Helios pool. And actually families therefore, I think, are having a wonderful experience. And we're welcoming an awful lot of new, obviously new to brand, they're all new to brand, but
Yeah.
new to ocean. Families that have never taken a cruise before, and they are falling in love with it. They love the sea days. They love the different types of activities that their children can do. And yeah, we're welcoming families down, definitely.
Yeah, I hear so much about the cruise industry needing to attract those kinds of cruisers, the first to industry, first to cruise, and Explorer seems like one of these brands that are sort of carrying the flag for that mission. So it's really wonderful to hear that it's a deliberate choice for you, and it has been successful.
Well, it has, and I think this is I sort of call it the 80% opportunity, yes, because obviously in the United States, in North America, we've got a very high penetration, within the cruise segment of hospitality. Yes, it's a very mature market, but still, there's only about 20% of cruisers, so that creates an 80% opportunity. So, I encourage every
Yeah.
single travel advisor to look at their clients, look at those clients that obviously do go to luxury resorts, and then consider the value. The value that we are offering is absolutely, pretty incredible when you think sort of on average $600 per person per day, but it's all inclusive. Welcome with that beautiful French champagne, bottle of chilled French champagne in your suite, but all your breakfast, lunches, afternoon tea, if you wish to have that too, your dinners, all your beverages, etc. Everything included really does create an incredible value that we're offering to our travelers, our guests, as we journey with them in the Mediterranean or the Caribbean, or in the future with Explorer 3, Northern Europe, Canadian Maritimes, Iceland, Greenland, and of course more journeys opening up. We've just launched the Red Sea and the Arabian Peninsula, and we'll have a lot more news, Dan, for another conversation not too much into the future, new itineraries as well.
All right. Well, Chris, it really is so nice speaking with you. So nice getting these updates and getting your perspective on things. So thank you so much for your time, and I'm sure we'll talk
Thank
soon.
you. Absolutely. Thanks, everybody. Keep booking.